Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Thursday, October the 18th, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plan. We do create multiple trade plans. We do not know what the market's going to do. We wait for the market to open up, and then we execute the plan that best suits the market. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfeatures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to. Then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the regular trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. Retail traders. We are a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. I can't believe I messed that up after saying it for so many years. Take a look at the results from yesterday. Our main hypothesis was an open auction in range, and we were looking for a rotation down. We weren't quite looking for it to dip as far as it did down. We were looking for between the 04 and the 2800, and then maybe a dip into the 2700s, but then rotating up and continuing the auction. We kind of got a bit of a drive on that open for 10 3/4 points, and we pushed a little bit lower down to the value area low in our stock zone and our key line in the sand, which was 85.50, dipped below it to 83.25. Buyers immediately came in. We talked about the three-wave corrective pattern when it set up, and the likelihood that we would go neutral with the break above the of the mid and the VWAP and the hold on the pullback, and that's what we got. We were actually looking for them to make the push through. We only got through that week high by one tick, and then we failed to break it. We came all the way back to the VWAP in the mid, bounced for a lower high, came back again, and then rallied into the close, but ran out of time and ran out of auction, and just never really got above and held above the prior day range. You could actually even call this Hypo 5 with just a little bit deeper dip than anticipated as an inside day, because I consider this a failed breakout right there. Take a look at the earnings. We are in earnings now, start of the season. You can see that most of the earnings this morning, for the most part, have been a beat. We've got some big names after the market. We've got PayPal, American Express, Skechers, Intuitive, E-Trade, WD-40, all coming out after. But the big one's going to be American Express, of course, and PayPal. Looking at the economic calendar, we just had continuing jobless claims and Philly Fed manufacturing. Both were beats, but the market really didn't react. In fact, we're right back at 26.06 which is where we were at on the news. So not much of a change. We did get ADP non-farm employment change, which came out as a major miss, and you can see that Philly Fed came out as a slight miss as well. In 14 minutes, we've got Bullard speaking. We've got Bloomberg consumer confidence in 59 minutes, and then 10:30 we've got natural gas, FOMC Quarles speaking at 11:30, 30-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. That's about it for the scheduled news. Mainly it's going to be headline news. It seems to be what is moving this market. Take a look at the Globex. We immediately sold off. We did gap down on the Globex. We had a Globex gap that did not get filled. You can see that you don't see this very often. You can see that this is a broken profile from the ETH session to the Globex session. These gaps have a very high probability of being closed, and this did not get closed. And we just continued to drift down, into the Asian sessions. Asian session went sideways, pushed a little bit lower, but failed to get below the 2800. Europe opened and rotated us back up into the 1275, 2 ticks above yesterday's open at 12 and a quarter. Chop there, and then we're seeing weakness. So based on the context, even though we've created a very weak high, the fact that we were failed to get back above this gap open, this is going to be a very important area for us this morning to get above that 15 area. So I'm going to be watching this very closely. But over under still has to be up in the 19 area, and we're likely to see a push back into the 2700s. The buyers just have not been able to stay on it, and even though we violated the one-time framing, with that move up yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before, I'm still seeing some struggle here to continue and get back up into the 2820s. Take a look at the macro. I always start my day with a simple candlestick chart. I started on a monthly, and I work my way down into intraday. I use a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. I'm looking to see where we are in terms of the trend in each periodicity. I'm looking for slope and separation. For strength of the trend, is price paralleling the 9 nicely. You can see trend is still intact on the monthly. We did come down and challenge it, but we're back above the 9 right now, and we don't challenge that 9 again until we get back down into the 2780, which is going to be another key area below us. Going in the weekly, we're still below the 9 and the 20. We tried to get back up and test that 20, which is in the 38 area now. It was in the 30 area yesterday. Going to the daily, you can see that we did close the technical gap after getting a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky, and we're failing to get above the 9, which is right at that 19 area, and just going sideways. Still undetermined if we can get above the 19. Then I am looking for the move up into the 2730s and above, but right now we're still struggling, and if we get back into the 2700s, we're likely to take a bigger dip. Going to the 30-minute, well, you can see that we basically have come down, and since the Asian session, just basically held a pretty tight range, about a 17-point range in the Globex. I mean, that's not generally tight, but it is in this volatility. Looking at the structure, you can see that we had the big breakdown. Oh, come on. We had the big breakdown out of the balance that we are in. We come back down into the former balance, the most traded price this year so far at the 27.50, 27.50, and then we bounce from there. We accept value higher at the 27.70 and a quarter, and then they break out, on Tuesday, and come up, and we have 2-day balance here at the 28.13.50, and we're failing to get above this weak high here at the 19 area. Key levels to pay attention to, obviously the 19, the 15 area. That way we get above the microcomposite VPOC, the 2-day, and above that key area of 15. Below us right now, 3.25, but I'm really just watching the 2800, 2799 area. And anything below that, look for 97 and 91.75 as the key areas, and of course that low from yesterday. Anything below that, I think we get a bigger move back down to that 27.70 area and come and test the price acceptance that we just broke out of. So overnight inventory is 100% net short, but it's very balanced. The VPOC is at 2807. That's likely to chop around a bit. It's pretty, it could shift down to 05. The overnight low is down at 2800.25. Overnight high 1750. Off of the overnight high, our daily ATR is running at 37.55. It's continuing to expand out. That gives us a downside daily ATR at 79.75. Oh, come on. And off of the overnight low, our upside daily ATR target is 28.3805. So, because of the context, I hate to say it again, but my hypo 1 and hypo 2 are going to be equally weighted. I can't get away from it because of the context. I still think we've got a very weak high, but we're showing the inability to get above it, so they might have to come down and pick up more buyers. But we're holding above that in the Globex, above that 2800, and our opening swing, our closing swing lows, and the move off of the Fed minutes yesterday is holding that 2799, 2800 area. So hypo 1. Open auction in range, a push up into the 19 to the 15 level. I don't know why I don't have that on here. And then I'm looking for sellers to step in. Failure to get above that 19.25 or another false breakout, and they push down through the overnight low and a push down into the 92. Possibly down into the 83 to 80 area, and then basing, and then working our way back up, and basically chopping and fighting this 2800. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction in range, in value, a move down into the 2700s, and then again finding buyers somewhere between the 2800 to 92.50, and then rotating up and breaking above the week high and pushing up into 28.30 and basically going sideways up there, maybe a little bit of a pullback into the close. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 has to be a continuation up because we did violate the one-time framing. So I'm looking for a open test drive, a move down into the overnight VPOC, failure to take out the overnight low or just tag it, but finding buyers immediately, rotating us up, breaking out of the 19, coming up into the 28.30, going chopping sideways, and then pushing up through and coming up and targeting this 28.43.75. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a breakdown day, open test drive, failure to take out the overnight high and close the gap. Sellers can step in early, take us below the 2800, chop between the 2800 and 92, and then fail and push down through the daily ATR and the range low and push us down into this 2770 to 2765 area and closing down back here near the week open. So those are my my four main ones. The fifth one is going to be another inside day and basically chopping around the 2800, but failing to break out of the high or the low. Going to gold. Gold is coming back. It failed to hold above the 1230, and we're coming back, and we're below the we dipped below the 25, found the buyers, and we're back above there. And I'm expecting more chop today and going sideways. I think this is going to be a flag formation for the next move up. And levels to pay attention to: 25. I would actually say 23 is your better one to watch for break that. Likely get a bigger move down to test the value area, a high, and this LVN here in the 14 level. If we can stay above the 26, look for them to rotate back up into the 30 and push the other side of this balance up towards that 35 area. Anything above the 35, look for them to push up into the CLVN at the 40 area. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.